The world does not end with a whisper, nor a flat horizon. It ends here, where the land is torn open, where the crust of the earth rises in a jagged, vertical defiance against the Southern Ocean. This is Fiordland, a corner of the planet so remote, so hostile to human presence, that it remains a haunting relic of a prehistoric age. It is the edge of the known world, a realm where time has not just slowed down, it has frozen into the stone and dissolved into the mist. Here the map of New Zealand dissolves into a labyrinth of black ink and emerald ghosts. Thousands of miles of open sea crash against these granite walls, driven by the roaring forties, winds that circle the globe with no land to break their fury until they strike this coast. The result is a landscape of impossible verticality. Mountains do not roll or slope here. They erupt from the sea, soaring 5,000 feet straight into the clouds, their faces sheer, slick with moisture, and draped in a moss so thick it feels like the fur of an ancient sleeping beast. Step into the silence of the inner fjords and the world changes. The air is heavy, saturated with a dampness that tastes of crushed ferns and cold stone. This is a temperate rainforest, but it bears no resemblance to the jungles of the equator. This is Gondwana, the great supercontinent, surviving in a pocket of the 21st century. The trees are twisted, silver-beached giants, their limbs bearded with lichen, their roots clinging to the bare rock with a desperation that defies gravity. There is no soil here, only a thin, fragile layer of organic decay known as a forest peat, holding on to the mountain by a thread. When the weight of the rain becomes too much, entire sections of the forest simply slide into the abyss, leaving behind tree avalanches, white scars of bare granite that mark the passing of a 1,000-year-old grove in a single roaring second. But the true mystery of Fiordland lies beneath the surface of the water. The fjords are not merely arms of the sea, they are geological paradoxes. Because it rains here more than almost anywhere else on Earth, up to 8 meters a year, a permanent layer of stained fresh water sits atop the heavy salt water of the ocean. This top layer is dark, dyed the color of strong tea by the tannins washed out of the forest floor. It acts as a liquid shroud, blocking out the sunlight and tricking the deep-sea creatures below. In a phenomenon known as deep water emergence, the abyss rises to meet the surface. Species that should only exist in the crushing, lightless depths of the open ocean, thousands of feet down, are found here, just a few meters below your feet. Black coral trees, ghostly white in the gloom, grow in shallow groves like a petrified forest. Spiny sea dragons and prehistoric sharks drift through the shadows of the granite cliffs. You are standing on the surface of a world where the laws of marine biology are rewritten by the darkness of the rain. The scale of the geology here is suffocating. 14 great fjords carve into the coast, the remnants of massive glacial tongues that retreated 12,000 years ago. These glaciers were so heavy, so powerful, that they scoured the earth hundreds of feet below sea level, creating basins of absolute stillness. In the deepest reaches of the Sound, the water is 1,000 feet deep, a silent obsidian mirror reflecting the peaks above. When the clouds break, which they rarely do, the scale is revealed, a cathedral of rock so vast it makes the human mind recoil. Wait for the rain, for that is when the landscape truly awakens. In Fiordland, rain is not weather, it is a transformation. Within minutes of a downpour, the sheer walls of the mountains begin to weep. Thousands of temporary waterfalls materialize out of the mist, silver veins pulsing down the black rock. Some are thin as silk, evaporating into spray before they hit the water. Others are thundering torrents that shake the very foundation of the fjord. It is a world of falling water, a chaotic symphony of gravity and fluid, where the land itself seems to be dissolving into the sea. In this vertical wilderness, life has evolved in total isolation. In the high alpine basins above the tree line lives the kea, the world's only mountain parrot. A bird of terrifying intelligence and a beak designed to tear through flesh and rubber alike, it is a survivor of the ice, a bright splash of orange hidden beneath olive-green wings. Below, in the lightless undergrowth, are the ghosts of birds that have forgotten how to fly. The takahe, once thought to be extinct for half a century, was rediscovered in these hidden valleys, a flightless, prehistoric creature that looks like a jewel-colored relic of the Cretaceous period. But for all its beauty, Fiordland is a place of profound hostility. The terrain is so rugged that much of it has never been set foot upon by a human being. There are valleys here that have never heard a human voice, peaks that have never felt the weight of a climber's boot. It is a fortress of nature, protected by the very elements that created it. To enter here is to accept your own insignificance. The sand flies that swarm the shoreline and the relentless, biting cold of the southerly winds are constant reminders that this land was not made for us. As the sun begins to set, a pale gold light filtering through the gaps in the granite spires, the atmosphere shifts from the cinematic to the mythic. The shadows in the fjords turn a deep, bruised purple. The water becomes so still it is impossible to tell where the mountain ends and the reflection begins. There is a weight to the silence here, a density to the air that feels like the pressure of history itself. Geologically, Fiordland is a work in progress. It is being pushed upward by the collision of tectonic plates, even as it is being carved downward by the ice and the rain. It is a landscape caught in a perpetual state of creation and destruction, a raw nerve of the Earth's crust exposed to the elements. Here, you are not looking at a landscape, you are looking at the Earth as it was before we arrived, and as it will be long after we are gone. The deeper you go into the wilderness, the more the modern world feels like a fever dream, a distant noise that has no place in this sanctuary of stone and mist. You realize that the edge of the world is not a line on a map, but a state of being. It is the realization that there are still places where nature reigns supreme, where the ancient laws of the wild are the only laws that matter. As the mist swallows the peaks and the last of the light vanishes into the black water of the abyss, a final truth remains. We do not conquer a place like Fiordland. We only witness it briefly and with bated breath before the clouds close in once more and return the land to its eternal, lonely sovereignty. In the end, we are but passing shadows in a kingdom of stone that remember the dawn of the world.